why are they buying so much gold?
Would you rather have the dollar as a digital currency at the central bank level or gold?
Gold. It's an easy test. Usually give me hard tests.
The hardship comes later. You won't be able to buy gold legally. You won't be able to buy silver legally because there will be an executive order that everybody's supposed to abide by.
Buy your gold and silver online from SD Bullion and get your first order at spot. Learn more at sdbullion.com/new.
Hi, Tim. You look really busy.
No, not busy at all.
Not busy
It's
at
never
all.
busy in here.
It's never busy. We got a whole line in this.
This is my hobby. It's just looking at things and writing them down.
There's a lot of gold here. You selling gold?
Yes, I am. Yes,
That's
and
right.
eagles
Oh,
and some older coins.
so these silver eagles?
Yep.
Oh, nice. And quite a bit of fractional gold over there, too. By the way, thanks for your service. I appreciate
Oh,
it
thank you.
very much. So I have a question about gold, Tim. Is it all right if I ask you why you're inspecting those?
Sure.
I just saw an article yesterday. The demand for gold in 2022 was up 18%, over 4.5 tons. They haven't seen that type of growth since 2011, I believe. And a lot of that was because of central banks. Turkey, number one. China, number two. They are hoarding gold like crazy. And I just thought of that when I was looking at all this gold that you have.
Yeah, I see India.
Well,
too.
we're getting a lot
Yes,
through.
India.
India as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Remember in one of our earliest videos, I said that gold is a barter currency between nations, and therefore it's affected more by world events
Yeah.
than individual problems.
Yeah.
That's going to continue on a massive scale because every country in the world is bankrupt. The European Union is probably going to go to a digital currency first. They're going to try to strong arm the Fed, and the Fed will probably give in. And then they, without thinking about the ramifications of any decision they make, they're going to find out that it's not going to work very well. What they're doing now, and if the Fed, comes up with a digital currency that's compatible with the euro or the European Union, and maybe not the same parameters, but at least something that they can work with. What about the other, the world's 3/4 of the nuclear power that are on the other side? Russia and China have already come up with their own reserve currency. It's a simple matter to develop their own digital currency. They've already enlisted the assistance of every country in the Middle East. They have an inroad to every country in Africa and the rest of Asia. So what's left? And some of the BRICS are in South America. That's all going to be on the other side. I think they're very short-sighted.
The battle lines have been drawn.
Yeah, we understand what the problem is. The only reason to have a digital currency at the central bank level is so you can cheat on your debt. You can just go into the computer and pay off your debt.
But why are they buying? Well, they're not buying
Yes,
eagles and
yes.
they're not buying buffaloes. But why are they buying so much gold and bad-mouthing it along the way?
Well, which would you want? Do you want euros, the euro digital currency, or gold? Which would you rather have?
Gold.
Would you rather have the dollar as a digital currency at the central bank level or gold?
Gold. It's an easy test. Usually give me hard tests, but this is an easy one.
The hardship comes later. We need to make a video about all the things that are wrong with taking the cash away, because that's what they want to do, and it's only for control. Right. Only for control. I mean, I asked some people one day, people were here, I said, what do you think they could control if there were no cash? And Some of the answers were phenomenal. They say, okay, well, they're going to digitize everybody's medical profiles, and if then you were considered obese, then every time you go to Dunkin' Donuts, the guy at the counter will say, well, I can give you the coffee, but I can't give you those donuts you ordered. It says right here you can't get those donuts. Or if you have a DUI on your record, maybe when you were a teenager, your digital wallet won't work at a liquor store. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's everything. Now, we know they're going to eliminate ammo sales and gun sales, you name it. Whatever the government decides, you shouldn't have. Mm-hmm. And, they're echoing Klaus Schwab. You won't own anything and you'll be happy. Mm-hmm. That's where it's headed. People need to resist every bit of it because they control your lives. If you go to a yard sale and you want to buy something at a yard sale, you have to go to your digital wallet. And then, if you sell that item on eBay, you're going to be taxed because they know what you paid for it and they know what you're selling it for. It's so bad as a concept. It's worse than 1984. It's worse than the Soviet Union. It's worse than communist China. And people don't realize because, the younger generation today, they use their cards for everything. So what's the difference? I use a card for everything anyway.
Exactly.
Well, there's a big difference because it's not about the card. It's not about the payment. It's about control.
How many people know that our president last year in March signed an executive order for central bank digital currencies to move forward? Not many people do. Not many people have even. I've read it.
We don't know anything about what was in the omnibus bill. We don't know anything about what was in the so-called Inflation Reduction Bill. You discover these things when you go to the bank, and the bank says, well, what do you intend to do with this money? And you say, the wrong thing. What are they going to do, take it back? I mean, if you get on a plane and you have $10,000, they're going to confiscate it. If you go to many countries in Europe and you have $10,000, they're going to confiscate it. And, that's little-known regulations or laws or whatever, statutes that we don't know anything about. And, I guarantee you that the representatives we have in this state don't have any idea of what in these bills, or they don't care. If they do care, it's all about control.
Gold, very important. If they're stacking it at central banks, no matter what they say about it, I want to do it too. Look at this bag. Wow. Lots of beautiful silver in here. And I also noticed one other thing, Tim. Are those buffalo rounds down there?
They are.
And they're for sale too, huh?
As far as they go.
As far as they go? And they're going, right?
I have another monster box of buffaloes, monster boxes of eagles, monster boxes of maple leafs.
Yeah, you had a monster box of maple leafs?
We had two.
Two?
Yeah, last week.
And they're gone?
They're gone.
And I'm standing right around some constitutional bags.
You are, yeah. Bags all over the floor.
I'm not standing on them, though. I'm standing near
that's one constitutional stash. There's another one in the back.
Wow. You have a lot to sell. If you're interested in checking out Tim's shop, see the description below. How long have you been stacking silver?
About 2 years. Before that, I was a coin collector.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You like the numismatic, rare kind of coin?
Yeah, I had a lot of them. I sold quite a few, and this is basically what I got left.
Take a peek at these?
Sure. There's a 96 in there if you're interested.
Ooh. Wow. 96. They didn't make many that year.
Yeah.
I don't know the mintage off the top of my head. Tim, do you know the mintage on the 96?
No, because there were so many that were spotted, they were returned to the mint. I don't think they may not have even accounted for them.
Wow. Yeah. These are really nice. NGC. So you were the collector, weren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Is this
Those are all,
in sequence?
yeah, basically.
gram,
Would you
10
get the
gram
same
bars.
type, or would you
I
get
think I
something different?
may have
I'm just going to get the
some
bullion stuff.
1 gram and some
Yeah.
10 gram.
Bullion
I'm not
bars,
sure about the
bullion
price.
rounds.
Right.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear you now. I can hear you. I had my earbuds in. Is that Yankee second here in the background?
It is.
Oh, these are
You
the
got great
buffalo.
ears. So what can I help you with?
I was just wondering if you did any of the 5 gram bars or 10 gram or a quarter round.
Yeah, that's it's hit or miss. I can certainly order as many as you want from the wholesaler. They do have minimums on the bars, so if you said you wanted 1 or 2, I'd say call around.
Yeah.
But if you,
I used to go through SD Bullion.
yeah, I think all the online dealers can give you, 1 to 10 or 100 or whatever you need. The problem that we have is the wholesalers are so busy right now. They have minimums on everything. If I'm ordering 20 gold buffaloes and I say throw in a couple of 5 gram bars, they'll do that at no charge. But if I call them and say, yeah, give me a couple of 5 gram gold bars, they're going to hit me with a hefty fee.
Just one more side note. I've been trying to get a hold of you and Yankee for like maybe a week or 2, and I just happened to catch you on the right day when I'm here working, not doing really nothing. I just want to say you guys are great to watch on YouTube and great information from both of y'all.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
And I will be coming to see you guys sometime this year.
Oh,
Not sure
fun.
when, but it'll be later this year.
Just let me know when you're coming up.
Thank you guys for the call.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody seems to love the buffalo. Man. Ooh, these actually look nice. The field.
Yeah, it's probably same manufacturer before they had trouble making demand. This Mason Mint.
Oh, Mason. Okay.
I don't know where the rest of them are coming from. They could be coming from China. Just know it.
Don't say that. That's all we need.
Boy, everything else is coming from China.
We don't want our precious metals coming from China.
I think what this country needs is a president who will tariff everything that comes out of China until the fentanyl stops. I mean, if I were president, that's what I would do. Tariff everything that comes from China. Everything until the fentanyl stops. But I guess they don't want it
Maybe
for
you ought
some
to run
reason.
for president, Tim.
What was that?
I said maybe you ought to run for president.
People that pay the money to get people elected probably wouldn't tolerate me.
But you have so much wisdom. So
No,
much common sense.
honestly, I think people should be responsible for their own actions. I think their personal responsibility is severely lacking in this country, and they're making it possible. I mean, all these people who are homeless, in the wintertime in New Hampshire, I mean, it's absolutely outrageous. You shouldn't have hundreds of thousands of people living in the streets, hundreds of thousands, and it's.
I think we're
Bringing in more millions doesn't help the problem.
drugs don't help it, a recession, and their answer, Tim, is UBI, Universal Basic Income, stimulus, giving money. You know what they're talking about.
Well, that's
in
about
California,
as
in
about as
San Francisco.
effective as putting people up in luxury hotels and letting them destroy them. That's insane. Why have a universal basic income? I mean, how many drugs will that buy? I mean, all their solutions are stupid, just plain stupid.
Where were the Republicans during the last administration when the debt ceiling came up? Where was the outcry, the outrage?
Well, you can't do anything without the numbers. But worse than that is the so-called Inflation Reduction Act that 18 Republican senators voted for. I hope they all retired. People think there's an unlimited supply of money that comes from the government. No, that's not true. That's not true. And until they get a digital currency, they can write off the debt.
That's not true. You can't just continually provide stimulus and monetize it by the Federal Reserve. You know another round of stimulus is coming in 2020.
Oh, yeah.
You know it.
I mean, this everything is upside down in this country, and the people in Washington are the worst when it comes to not accepting any personal responsibility. The biggest problem is right there in Washington. And there are only a few brain cells that govern personal responsibility. Apparently, they've lost them all. Is there any agreement to that? Do I hear an amen?
Amen.
I'm looking up the Bible verse right now. Up is down, down is up.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're getting close to Revelation, aren't we?
Yes.
Well, if they go to a digital currency for the people and take the cash away, you won't be able to buy gold. You won't be able to buy silver, because that would be a new executive order, which are not laws, but
No, they're
it
not
seems
laws.
like executive order. We have an open border, which is destroying the country, letting millions of people who are criminals come across the border. I heard a figure yesterday on the news that of all the people who are applying for asylum in this country, 93% of those people do not qualify for asylum. And that's an official figure, okay? 93% of the people who are here for asylum do not qualify for asylum. And so they know that. So, okay, here's your paper. You got to come back in 2 weeks for a court appearance. No, they don't show up. They don't qualify for asylum, so they're just out there as mules for some drug cartel. If I were running one of these states on the border, I don't want to pick on anybody, I would close the border. Close the border. That's my state, and this country's being invaded. If I were running one of those states, I would have already closed the border. I don't care if it requires the National Guard or all the Texas Rangers or a militia that we make up of the people. I'd close the border because they're the ones who are suffering, and it's going to get a lot worse if they keep this up. But that was executive order. I'm not going to build a wall. That's an executive order. Executive orders aren't laws. You don't have to obey executive orders. I'd like to see where in the Constitution does it say I have to obey an executive order.
Yes, I agree.
And never mind. I'm not going to get on Adam Schiff, who was calling me and every Republican a liar.
He's just telling the truth, though.
Who? Tim?
Tim, yeah. I agree with him completely.
He is telling the truth. Isn't he?
Yeah, sure is.
Did you say you were in Vietnam and your dad served in?
In the Army, 1st Infantry Division. He landed on Normandy. And my grandfather was in World War I Army.
Wow, what an amazing legacy there. That's incredible.
These I'd like to take a look at. See what.
You want me to leave them here for you? Or?
Yeah, I would leave this stuff because it's you got some nice stuff here that I want to take a look at.
I trust you, Tim.
I'm very familiar with all the 69 American Eagles.
I started slonking.
I'd like to look at them and just give you the accurate price.
Really cool stuff in there.
Oh.
That's actually hard.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the Eagles don't, because they're certified, doesn't make the difference it used to. They just, and these people, every January they get the Monster Box and they get them all certified.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
and then they call them first strikes or early releases and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
That's not usually a good stacking approach.
Well, no, it's the price performance. Okay, it's what price are you paying to have something that's a mint state 70 from that's also considered a first strike.
Or recover from the World Trade Center. That one says. I mean, there's a lot of these interesting type of semi-numismatic.
And we had that question in one of the first podcasts. What do you think about getting something certified? I said it's essential for rare coins. A waste of your money for bullion coins.
I gotta let you go. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Thank you.
Take care, bud. And
Nice meeting you.
thank you. Nice
Yankee,
meeting you.
yeah.